I'm Elaine Jagelski. Aphantasia Part 2. Why would a person have it? What are the energetic implications? So there's a spectrum of aphantasia. So on one end is very vivid ability to envision, imagine. And on the other end of the spectrum is the nothing. And so there are sort of gradients in between. And it's not all or nothing. So some people may be at this end, some people maybe be at this end, and there's sort of a spectrum in between. So for some individuals, if they are asked to visualize something, that red apple or the horse or whatever it may be, some sort of scene, then they're going to get nothing, or maybe there's so many details, the colors are so vivid, there's movement, there's action, there's all kinds of things happening, or maybe there's just colors, or maybe there's a very faint version of what would be perceived as an apple, or sort of the shape of. So it can really vary as far as what that means exactly. Now, because the norm typically, or as far as we know, based on a little bit of research that we have up to this point in time, the norm is that, oh, people can do that quite easily. Close your eyes, imagine something, envision it, boom, it's there. And so often when that's the case, then if a person can't do that, then it's like, well, something's wrong. But that's not necessarily the case. So particularly for individuals who have always been like this, it doesn't mean that anything's wrong. Now, for individuals who have had some sort of a brain injury and they could do that kind of visualization prior to the injury and then were unable to after, on the physical level, that might be seen as, oh, something's been injured, something's wrong. However, regardless of whether it was something there from birth or whether it was something that happened during the course of a person's lifetime, on the energetic level, there's an interesting potential reasoning as far as why is a person experiencing that. And we've had a saying for a very long time, and that was, seeing is believing. And we are learning, and in the energetic world, it's always been the reverse. Believing is seeing. Now, for individuals with aphantasia, they get an extra layer of that, because what happens is that even when they're just trying to imagine, to visualize, it's not there. They can't see it, or they can barely see it, or not to the full extent, not in the full technicolor that they might want to or like to. And so in that case, on whatever level, they're providing themselves from a soul and higher self level, the opportunity to really trust, to really expand into the other senses. And so to really work with that concept that believing is seeing. And so to work with it in whatever fashion one can through the other senses, or really going into the mind's eye, where it's not exactly visualizing it sort of behind your eyes and seeing it that way, but playing out things or trying to create them in that, like internally, a little further in, and where it doesn't seem like a picture on a screen necessarily, or feeling it. What are the emotions that you want to feel in whatever it is you want to create? And so working with it more so in that way. So it's kind of like a little extra layer of challenge, because life isn't challenging enough. But every individual in their own unique way has certain abilities and certain what we might call challenges in order to learn and grow even more deeply and to have a better understanding who you fully are. Aphantasia is one version that is offered for individuals who have that to experience themselves away from the norm. And feel free to comment if you do have aphantasia or something more towards that end of the spectrum, just to see how many people actually are managing that or actually dealing with that.